Great news.
Do you ever pick up a ball and just shoot?
I haven't picked up a ball in years.
No, come on. Just like walk past. There's got to be a hoop somewhere at your place.
You don't see a hoop anywhere around here, right?
I don't. But
It's a
seriously,
reason.
the last time you picked up a basketball and shot it?
I was at the Ryder Cup,
Yeah,
and I rented a house from the owner.
sure.
He came over to do pictures. He had grandkids. And I was meet and greet and thank him for allowing me to stay in the house. And he had a basketball court. He says, I want you to shoot one free throw. I said, really? And I already paid for the house. It's not like he got to see me. So when I stepped up to shoot the free throw, it's the most nervous I've been in years.
Stop it.
In years.
Stop it. Come on.
And reason being is those kids heard the stories from the parents about what I did 30 years ago.
Right.
So their expectation is 30 years prior, and I haven't touched the basketball.
Michael Jordan didn't have to say a word, but when he finally did, the entire NBA stopped and listened. His first appearance on NBC wasn't just a nostalgia hit, it felt like a quiet thunderclap, a reminder that the game's greatest icon still watches everything happening today, and let's just say, he's not exactly impressed. When Jordan admitted he hadn't touched a basketball in years and then casually sank a flawless free throw for a bunch of kids, that moment wasn't just a cute story. It was a statement. A subtle message to an era that seems to have forgotten what loving the game really means. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, because today, we're breaking down one of the most powerful moments in basketball media this season. Michael Jordan just made his first appearance on NBC, and in under 4 minutes, he did something remarkable. He reminded everyone what basketball used to mean, what it used to feel like, and what it demanded from those who played it. And in doing so, he took a quiet, unmistakable shot at today's NBA, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with precision. So stick around, because we're diving into what Jordan really said, what it reveals about the difference between his era and ours, and why his NBC appearance might just be the most impactful moment in basketball commentary we've seen in years. Let's start with the shot most people missed. Jordan sat down with NBC for his first on-air segment of the season. On the surface, it seemed warm and reflective. He talked about family, about missing the game, and about that free throw he took for kids at the Ryder Cup. But buried beneath that calm, almost mentor-like tone was classic MJ, quiet criticism disguised as wisdom. Listen to this. He said, in all honesty, I wish I could take a magic pill, put on shorts, and go out and play basketball today. Because that's who I am. That competitiveness is what I live for, and I miss it. Now, that's not just nostalgia. That's not just an old legend missing his glory days. That's Jordan, in the most polite way possible, saying, I could still beat you, and I miss when basketball demanded that kind of obsession. It wasn't a diss. It was a lesson. He's reminding everyone that while today's game might be faster, cleaner, and more efficient, it's also lost a little of that, play every night like it's your last edge. It's not bitterness, it's disappointment wrapped in reflection. Because when Michael Jordan talks, people don't just listen, they feel it differently. That free throw story? It sounds small. But it tells you everything you need to know about him. He said he was at the Ryder Cup, rented a house, met the owner's grandkids who wanted to see him shoot one free throw. Jordan said it was the most nervous he'd been in years. Think about that. This is the guy who hit finals game winners, thrived in the loudest arenas, and stared down every clutch moment imaginable, and yet he's sweating a driveway free throw for a few kids. Why? Because those kids only knew the legend, not the man. And in that moment, he felt the weight of living up to the myth. That's not ego, that's legacy. He wasn't afraid of missing the shot. He was afraid of disappointing the idea of Michael Jordan. His identity is inseparable from competition. Even when it doesn't matter, he has to win. That's not habit, it's wiring. That's what made him who he was. And that relentless compulsion is what separates his era from everyone else's. Then there's the fan mentality, duty versus career management. In the interview, Jordan talked about never wanting to disappoint fans. He said he used to play hard even in preseason games, especially in cities without NBA teams, because he knew that might be their one and only chance to see him play. Teammate Stacey King backed this up. Jordan treated preseason games with the same intensity as the playoffs. Because for him, fans mattered. Every game mattered. Now compare that to today's NBA, load management, rest days, DNPs for, general soreness, stars skipping big televised games, and some barely showing up for preseason. To be fair, the modern game is different. Today's players face non-stop media scrutiny, advanced analytics, and the pressure of brand preservation. But here's the real divide: Jordan saw basketball as a duty. Today's players often see it as a career. For Jordan, the game always came first. Even preseason games were sacred because fans deserved his best effort. Modern stars give fans content, Jordan gave them his body. One's digital currency, the other's blood and sweat. Now here's why the NBA should be nervous about Jordan showing up on NBC. He's not just a legend, he's basketball's moral compass. When he speaks, people don't hear an opinion, they hear truth. He sets the standard for greatness. If he keeps dropping quiet remarks about competitiveness, passion, and dedication, fans will start holding today's players to his standards again. And that could reignite every uncomfortable debate the NBA's tried to move past: load management, toughness, loyalty, playing through pain. Jordan's presence could shift basketball's narrative from a polished entertainment product back to something raw, a warrior's sport. And that's dangerous for the modern image of the league. Because Jordan's philosophy is simple: your body belongs to the game. You owe the fans everything. You show up. You compete. Every night. If he keeps telling stories about playing through exhaustion, showing up for fans, and never wanting to disappoint, that message will cut deep, and the fans will notice. But this isn't just Jordan versus modern basketball. It's about something bigger: authenticity versus presentation. Jordan came from an era where greatness was earned in silence, proven through sweat and scars. You didn't post about it. You just were it. Today's NBA, for all its beauty and skill, sometimes feels curated. Players are global brands before they're champions. Everything's optimized: image, stats, social media presence. That's not bad, it's just different. But Jordan's words hit hard because they remind fans what the game used to feel like: raw, unpredictable, deeply personal. When Jordan says he wishes he could play today, he's not boasting. He's mourning the loss of that all-consuming obsession, the sense that basketball wasn't just a job, it was who you were. That's what's missing now. Not talent. Not athleticism. But that absolute surrender to the game. And that's why Jordan's brief NBC moment felt like a wake-up call. So what happens next? Jordan's presence means the conversation is about to change. Like it or not, his voice carries too much weight to be ignored. Players will be compared to him again. Every time he talks about dedication or fans, people will think of load management. And that creates a cultural tug-of-war: Jordan's philosophy of sacrifice versus the modern approach of self-preservation. Neither side is wrong, they're just fundamentally different. But Jordan forces that comparison into the spotlight. Let's be clear, Michael Jordan wasn't flawless. He had his flaws, his rivalries, his intensity that sometimes crossed lines. But when it comes to basketball, what it means, what it demands, he's still the standard. His presence on NBC, even for a few minutes, is a quiet reintroduction of that moral compass. Today's stars are incredible, more skilled, more strategic, more aware. But they're not Jordan. And that's not an insult, it's a challenge. If you made it this far, you clearly care about what's really happening in basketball, beyond the box scores. That's what we do here every week. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the conversation. Drop your thoughts below: was Jordan subtly calling out today's NBA? And do you think his return to NBC could actually shift how fans view this generation? Let's talk about it in the comments.